I don't believe what I just saw.
You believe in miracles? Yes!
It's July 30th, sports fans, and on this date in 1975, renowned Teamsters president Jimmy Hoffa went missing shortly after leaving a restaurant in Bloomfield, Michigan. He was never seen again, but rumors persist that members of the New York Mafia killed him and buried him underneath Giants Stadium, which was under construction at the time. Now, at TDIS, we've also got a lot of powerful people in sports media after us because we're giving smart sports fans like you the kind of humorous and historical content they just can't deliver. Today, for example, we'll be talking with you about great topics like these. Baseball's most obnoxious manager finally retires. A couple of unforgettable World Cup finals. The Young Expos lay a historic can of whoop-ass on Atlanta. A forgotten fax costs an NBA player millions of dollars. The Blue Jays finally make it back to the land of construction traffic and high taxes. Crucky calls it quits in the middle of a game, and a 30-year-old rookie named Michael Jordan swings for the fences in Double-A baseball. Now, because of all this great content, we could go missing at any time, too, just like Jimmy Hoffa. Now, where would they hide our bodies? Well, do you really think it's a coincidence that those new renovations at the Rogers Center are happening just at the same time this podcast started? I don't think so. This could be our last episode ever, folks, so we're giving it everything we've got on today's episode of This Day in Sports.
Fantastic job, Michael. Wow. I like that. So when Hoffa's dead, they think, well, we're making this field, so we'll bury him under there. Your theory is they've already made the park and they're going to stuff us under?
I think there's like a little few things they haven't done yet that's for us.
That's for us.
Yeah, there's just a few little areas they're going to cement over to kill us.
They're gonna have a hard time.
It's a rather ominous start.
Yeah,
it was a joke.
Hard time sneaking Sandy in this red tracksuit.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
How about the outfit, folks?
My wife is here tonight, and she's mortified currently that I put this on. She didn't see it pre-show. I should mention that Cabin is one of our main sponsors podcast, but also in those swag bags, the Arkells have included some things in there as well. Ron James has included all the friends of the podcast. You know, we have these and these. Lots of different things to win in there, so you should get excited about those.
Yeah, there's a couple more chances to win one, too, coming up.
Absolutely. But we want to get into the nitty-gritty of this day in sports. We talk about things that happen on this day, and that's the first part of the show. And, Matt, I believe you got the first one going.
I do. So we're talking about July 30th. In 1930, the final match of the first ever FIFA World Cup happened in front of 70,000 fans in Montevideo, Uruguay. The host country defeated Argentina 4-2 in the match, despite trailing 2-1 at the half. It was a rematch of the finals in the 1928 Olympics, which the Uruguayans had also won. Apparently, there was a dispute over which country would provide the game balls for the match, so they reached a compromise where Argentina would supply the ball for the first half and Uruguay for the second. Sort of strange. After the win, the next day was declared a national holiday in Uruguay, while in Buenos Aires, a mob threw rocks at the Uruguayan embassy.
Yes.
Not as nice as story.
That's how it was in 1930.
I think they got to choose their own rocks for the first half of the day.
There
in
it
the
is.
embassy. You see what I did?
There it is. That's
See
it.
what you did there?
Mike, jump in with the next one because I can't top that joke. You can't top that joke.
Okay, July 30th, 1978, in front of barely 10,000 fans at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, the Expos trounced the Braves 19-0. Montreal tied a National League record by hitting 8 home runs. Larry Parrish had 3 and Andre Dawson had 2, and banged out 28 hits on the biggest offensive day in their team's history. 1978, I want to talk about this just because it's a big day it was a big year for the Expos that year. They still finished under 500, but they had the young nucleus of those great teams. Gary Carter, Andre Dawson, Steve Rogers, Warren Camardi, Ellis Valentine, and the next year, Tim Raines joined the team in 1979. And people forget this. In 1979, the Expos won 95 games. But because there was no wild card back then, they did not make the playoffs. Anyway, that was the kind of beginning of that team becoming the team everybody kind of fell in love with in the early 80s in Montreal.
Friend of the podcast, Steve Rogers.
Yes.
Steve Rogers was on an episode about 3 episodes back. Anyone remember Steve Rogers from the Expos?
Blue Monday.
You know, in that season, in 78, I think Rogers was the only righty in the starting rotation. They had 4 lefties in their starting rotation.
Wow, I didn't know it. Yeah.
Now you know.
Some of those, I think Steve Rogers' pictures on one of those in that box there. And if you just want to steal that at the half, that's totally fine.
We'll know who.
This is also swag. The skis too. July 30th, 1996, after 20 seasons in Los Angeles, Tommy Lasorda officially retired as manager of the Dodgers due to health struggles. Lasorda won 1,599 games with LA and never managed another team in his career, turning down offers from other teams to leave the Dodgers. They won 2 World Series rings in the 80s with Lasorda managing, and he's inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame the next year. The Dodgers also retired his uniform number, 2. Lasorda was replaced by longtime Dodgers shortstop Bill Russell, who became just the 3rd Dodgers manager in the last 43 years. That's stability. 9 different Dodger players won the National League Rookie of the Year award during Lasorda's 2 decades in charge. That's saying something.
You think that's a coincidence, or that's Lasorda?
Well, I don't think it's total coincidence.
No, I think probably there's something to that. Yeah.
High level of success. Definitely a player's manager. There's no doubt about that.
Is there anyone out there who only knows Tommy Lasorda from the weight loss commercials, though? No, but all right. Okay. Everybody knows him.
Yeah,
sounds good.
And any way you know him, it's fine.
Well, he had an incredible IMDb page as well. He was on Chips, Who's the Boss, Simon and Simon, Heart to Heart. He appeared on all these shows as himself.
I think the important thing to do to get the young audience out there is to mention shows like Chips and Who's the
Simon
Boss.
And Simon.
I mean, they just eat that stuff
Does
up.
anyone only know Tommy Lasorda from Heart to Heart, from his episode of
We
Heart
got
to
together,
Heart?
it was murder.
I think of him more from Simon and Simon. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I think so.
Yeah, perfect. Matt, I bet you got us another fact to
I
give
do.
us.
Mike alluded to this earlier. In 1994, a rookie outfielder named Michael Jordan of the AA Birmingham Barons hit a home run during a game versus the Carolina Mudcats. It was the first home run of his baseball career after he quit the NBA a year earlier. Remember that happened?
I remember him playing baseball. Yes, I do. It was a weird blip, but yeah, it happened.
I don't want to take too long on this, but I think people need to appreciate how hard what Michael Jordan was. You know, the narrative is he was a bomb and he's a bust and, he only hit 200. The idea of being 30 years old and not having played baseball for over a decade and then going to AA, where all the top prospects in your in organizations are, and getting any hits at all when you're also 6'8" is remarkable. Like, it is extraordinary that Terry Francona, who was his manager then, has said that if Jordan had another year, he would have made the major leagues. Like, he was that incredible of an athlete. But to not play a sport at all for more than a decade and do that at the AA level with no warm-up it doesn't get talked about enough as how impressive it is.
Put your hand up if you think you could hit a fastball in AA baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
You and me, buddy.
Maybe, yeah. He put his hand up twice. That's how excited
He could also hit the changeup.
We forget that was the strike, right? The next year was the strike, so that's why he
That's
didn't
part of the
continue,
reason he
so,
stopped playing, yeah.
Who knows if the strike didn't happen?
He might have, yeah.
Might have stuck it out. Mike, you're up.
In 2003, Anthony Carter signed a 2-year, $1.5 million contract with San Antonio after his agent, Bill Duffy, forgot to fax Miami a letter officially exercising his $4.1 million option with the Miami Heat in time, making him a free agent. Ooh. Duffy's agency paid Carter the difference in salary to make up for the error. That should be noted. But the error also allowed the Heat the salary cap space to sign Lamar Odom to a contract. And they later included Odom in the trade that brought Shaq to Miami. So that had a real repercussion in the league because Shaq came to Miami. They won titles. Like, that little forgotten fax actually has a lot of sliding doors attached to it. But can you imagine, like, finding out your agent calls, like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, we missed the facts.
San Antonio's interested.
If you're tracking now, younger people in the audience, we've now mentioned Chips, Simon and Simon, and faxes. So we're up on it.
Yeah.
We're up on it. We really are. And I don't want to intimidate you, by the way, with my awesome PowerPoint work. If you see anyone being a little too long or a little too tall, a little too fuzzy.
That is a very wide photo of Anthony Carter.
We ran out of money for someone in graphics, so I ended up editing it.
He looks like an offensive tackle.
There's going to be lots to make fun of with those graphics, but that's okay.
He wants us to tell people he's much leaner than that.
Thank you. Exactly. Thank you. This is and even this suit is slimming. Okay.
That's right.
This is July 30th, 1998. Defenseman Kevin Lowe announced his retirement from the NHL today after over 1,250 games with the Oilers and Rangers. He won 5 Stanley Cups in Edmonton between 84 and 90, and another one in New York in 1994. So he had 6 Stanley Cups, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2020. So many great players that played for that Oilers dynasty that you sometimes may forget some of the D. Yeah. And Kevin Lowe is obviously a huge part of that. And then we have the future coming up. Mike Martone, you played D, yeah. And Kevin Lowe, where do you rank him? Like, is he a top 10 guy all time, or what are you thinking? Close. 10 on the dot, maybe a little bit later, maybe in the teens.
He's trying to say something nice, but you can tell he doesn't.
Mike's a nice guy. He doesn't want to say, but
top
he's
20.
He's
Top
20. Top 20.
Top 25.
They're top 20. Okay,
I was
excellent.
surprised it took 22 years for him to get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like if he retired in 98, he didn't get in until 2020. That's surprising to me, considering how much he won and how great a player he was. Like that seems a long time.
That is a long gap.
I don't know what that's about.
Matt.
1966, in front of over 93,000 fans at London's Wembley Stadium, England, got 3 goals from Jeff Hurst to win the FIFA World Cup finals over West Germany by a score of 4-2 in extra time. Hurst became the first player in history to score a hat-trick in the World Cup final. It remains the only time England has either hosted or won the World Cup. More than 32 million people watched England. That was the most watched event at home on the BBC or ITV. It was more watched than even Queen Elizabeth and Diana's funerals, the Apollo 13 splashdown, and Charles and Diana's wedding. Yeah, pretty incredible. And my father-in-law was at the game, if you can imagine that. Yeah, he was a quick story. He was his father was a high-ranking policeman in Birmingham, and so he got 2 tickets. They gave him 2 tickets, and it was like, which son is he going to take? Yep. But he actually was going on a holiday to Scotland with his wife, and he says he knows which side his bread was buttered on, or whatever the saying is. So 2 of the kids got to go, and they had an incredible time, and their only regret is that they threw away the program.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
In a big cleanup. But
at least it wasn't like autographed by all the guys or something like that.
It was autographed by all the guys.
Oh, wow. It made it worse. I just made it worse.
And all 93,000 fans.
Follow up on that. So England has not won a major championship since that time, except for one. What is the most recent major championship that England won? Anyone?
In darts?
The women won the Euro Championship.
Oh, that's right.
The year after the British team lost to Italy, the last Euro Cup, the women won the Euro Cup. So stuff that.
Wow.
No one cared. I throw things out there because we want to have the representation. We have a lot of female sports, and then there was no reaction here.
Nothing at all.
There was nothing.
Nothing.
Dead air.
Would you like to know where they went
take
on
my
the
woke,
vacation?
My woke attitude back to Toronto. I know where I stand now.
Mike, they find the tracksuit alienating.
All right. I got a Votto jersey.
Oh! There we go.
We're representing Canada here.
Somebody just yelled, "Put it back on."
Oh, man. Why is everybody against me tonight?
I think you know.
I think I know.
I'll just move on.
Good idea.
July 30th, 1980, Astros pitcher J.R. Richard suffered a stroke while playing catch before a game in Philadelphia. Richard had been on the disabled list the past 2 weeks with numbness in his arm, and he had visited an area chiropractor that morning in hopes of helping fix blood flow problems to both his neck and arm. Once he collapsed on the field, he was rushed to the hospital where it was discovered he had a massive blockage in his right carotid artery, which necessitated immediate surgery. He never pitched another MLB inning after the incident. He was 30 years old. And J.R. Richard, get this, in 1978, so the 2 years before this happened, J.R. Richard was 18-11 with a 3.11 ERA in 275 innings with 303 strikeouts. And in 1979, he was 18-13 with a 2.71 ERA and 313 strikeouts.
Wow.
There are only 8 guys since the turn of century who've thrown 300 strikeouts in a season. He's one of them, and that career was ended really prematurely, the poor man. He went through a lot, too, afterwards.
People are very sad out here now.
Well,
We brought the party down a little
It's
bit.
the tracksuit, isn't it?
I'm going to thank you.
It's not J.R. Richard.
I'll try to bring the party back up. July 30th, 2005, with the first overall pick of the NHL draft, the Pittsburgh Penguins selected center Sidney Crosby from Rimouski, Oceanic.
Also very wide.
Very wide.
Yeah. He was so wide. People forget how wide Sid was.
He's lost a lot of weight since
Oh, yeah,
the draft.
Cole Harbor. I tell you, in Cole Harbor, they make him thick, okay?
They built him hardy. Friend of the show. He's coming on the show for sure now.
He's coming on the show to fix his graphics. Everybody, stay cool. The draft was delayed due to the labor lockout and suspended the entire 2004-2005 NHL season. Crosby has been a 10-time NHL All-Star, won 2 Art Ross, 2 Hart trophies, and 2 Conn Smythe trophies, while leading Pittsburgh to 2 Stanley Cup titles. Others players selected, if you're curious, but the first round of that draft.
Very curious.
Bobby Ryan was taken in the second pick. Carey Price was taken number 5. Andrei Kopitar was taken 11th. Mark Stahl, number 12. Tuukka Rask, number 21. by Toronto.
Oh.
Yeah, the great trade, guys. Later picks included Jonathan Quick, Chris Letang, Patrick Hornquist, Keith Yandel, Paul Stastny, and Ben Bishop. That is quite a draft. Yeah, absolutely. But that was Sid time. January 30th, 2005. And then he went on that program and lost all that weight.
Yeah, that's right. He saw the Tommy Lasorda commercial.
He saw the Lasorda. It's all coming back around.
I always think when we talk of Sidney Crosby, I was thinking you say when you met him, it was like he had 2 Bibles in his back pockets. You remember when you said that?
Well, it's a hockey ass, Matt. That's what they call that. It's a big bum, That's like. Well, I do remember the meeting Le Cavier and St. Louis at the same time, and Le Cavier is like straight like this, right, stick up, and St. Louis is like the same. Like he
went through your.
If you saw Martin St. Louis' lower body in this, you'd go, "That's wrong." You're like, "No, that's actually right."
That's actually what it is.
Wow.
Yeah, he's wide. He's a wide bottom.
That's not a computer error.
He's a wide bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
July 30th,
We're moving on.
1995. After he hit his first single in a game versus Baltimore, White Sox first baseman and DH John Kruk was replaced in Chicago's lineup by Frank Thomas, and then he immediately retired. Citing chronic knee pain, Kruk told a teammate in the dugout before the game that if he got a hit in the first inning, he would retire, and he did. Pretty incredible. Apparently, he got home before the game had even ended.
Yeah.
He did. He went, he changed. He was like, I'm out of here.
I'm leaving.
Well, I might as well check in and see how it's going out there.
Yeah.
And Johnny Kruk, interestingly, looks thin in that photo.
Yeah.
Like he's actually kind of a chunky guy, and he looks thin there.
Pared him down a little bit.
Depending on who you are.
Listen, amateur Photoshop can be either very forgiving or very like, So I went forgiving there.
Correct.
Yeah.
All righty. There's only a couple more, folks. Don't worry. 2021, the Blue Jays finally played a home game in Rogers Center for the first time in nearly 2 years after COVID restrictions had forced them to play home games in Buffalo's Salem Field and at their spring training facility in Dunedin. In front of a COVID-spaced crowd of just under 14,000 people, the Jays defeated Kansas City 6-4.
Was anyone at that game?
No one here.
Okay.
Great. And they went to the playoffs that year and won.
Oh, Mike, come on! You already brought the crowd down.
My
once.
memory
Now
is
again.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one final one.
Okay.
In 2005, July 30th, 2005, the NBA officially amended their rules. You're laughing.
You're laughing
so I
already
know
at the
I've got
wide.
something weird going on here. Yeah.
That shirt,
Wow.
that's an extra large jersey for sure.
This is fantastic. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love you for laughing. This is fantastic. If I was like acclaimed Photoshop artist, I'd be like, "Why are you laughing?" I am not at all.
It does hurt him. It does hurt him.
July
It cuts him
30th.
deeply.
I have no more shirts to take off. July 30th, 2005, the NBA officially amended the rules for draft eligibility, making 19 the minimum age for entering the league via the draft. The change meant that center Andrew Bynum, you see there, who had just drafted 4 months earlier before his 18th birthday, will likely forever remain the youngest player drafted in NBA history. That's pretty interesting.
And
not
the
what he looks
widest.
like. And the widest person, for sure, that ever drafted.
Perhaps.
Thank you very much. That is our July 30th first round of events.
First round.
Fantastic. What a fantastic crowd tonight. I got to say, friends, this is fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're coming.
yeah.
Brian.
Big fan of the show, Brian. Do you give him a prize?
People are trying.
We did-
Yeah,
I
Get
think
his
we
prize
did
back.
already.
Get his
If-
prize
if it
back.
made it to him.
Go get his prize back. Go
We
get
got to
his prize
pace
back.
ourselves.
No, we'll get to that in a bit. We are going to introduce our first guest, Brian, if that's okay with you. So
He's a loyal fan, but he gets edgy.
So we've had a few folks have been on the show. We brought them back, and of course we had this guest on our show, but he's local. He's from around here. Perfect time to introduce him. This is Andrew Forbes. He is the author of. I hope he's swinging by soon. The Door. Andrew Forbes, the author of Utility of Boredom, baseball essays in 2016. The Only Way is the Steady Way. Not ready for the music yet, Michael. Thank you, though. There's an intro here, bud. There's an intro there. Okay. All right. The Only Way is the Steady Way, baseball intro, and how we watch the game, and then a novel, Diapause, which will be published, and we have a QR code to scan that. The future one that's coming out October 2024, and Shucks. A collection of baseball writing. There's also McCurdle's Arm. Now, their books are going to be available out there in the lobby. Andrew is here. He can sign those books for you. They're awesome, fantastic reads. Awesome summer reads, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Please check those out.
Great writing.
He was the 2019 Margaret Lawrence Fellow at Trent University and served on the jury of the 2022 Atwood Gibson Writers Trust Fiction Prize. Forbes, of course, lives in Peterborough, Ontario. Let's welcome to the show. Andrew Forbes is here. Andrew.
Yeah.
Yes. There he is.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Our door. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
That's why it's live, folks.
While they're doing that, Tommy Lasorda was also on Who's the Boss
Here
in
we go.
Ladybugs, Silver Spoons, Pink Panther and Sons.
You say Pink Panther and Sons?
And Sons.
That's
what
a show?
show was that? Andrew Forbes, thank you for joining us.
Hi.
This is so great to have you here. As soon as we knew we had a show in Bobcaygeon, I was like, well, Andrew's got to be here. This is his neighborhood. This is this is the Kawarthas region. And
Just
this
down
is
the road, yeah.
Just down the road. Have you always lived in this area?
No, Ottawa originally. My wife has a job that took us to Peterborough 16 years ago. So
Okay.
next to local.
Next to local.
Next to local.
Because your kids would have been born. Well, all of them born here? I guess you have one that's 18.
No, my daughter
right?
was born. My daughter is.
Sorry, the door is
to our door?
The door is being moved. Hey, she's stealing our door.
There's a guess.
Stealing our door.
Somebody's trying to steal the door, ladies.
Yeah, no, my daughter was born when we lived near Ottawa, and then my sons were born in twin
Twins.
sons,
Yeah,
twin
twin sons,
boys
right?
born in Peterborough. Yeah,
Fantastic.
close enough that I could actually walk to the hospital.
That's amazing.
yeah.
Wow, that's
See,
really
that's
cool.
the benefits.
My wife could not, but I could.
Yeah, you didn't. You weren't like, I'm watching the game. You walk. I'll catch up.
no,
I'll be there in a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Mike, you had something you wanted to ask.
Well, one of the stories I've heard you tell, and this is a great story, but I think folks should hear it, is about a Hall of Fame baseball player, a legendary Hall of Fame baseball
Yep.
player, and has ties to Peterborough. It's Tris Speaker, right? Who's
Yes.
one of the sort of early greats of baseball, one of
Yeah.
a legendary inner circle Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And what's his connection to the area?
His connection, he stopped in to Peterborough one afternoon. Basically, is his
That's it.
connection. That's it. Next
Drive
question.
safely, everybody.
Next
Cool,
question.
cool story, Andrew. Thanks so much for
that's
that.
great.
No, he put together a team. This would have been in the off season in 1923, and he put together a team. This was common for players to do to earn an extra buck after the regular season ended. So he put together a team that had a few guys on it. Ty Cobb was on this team.
Wow.
Ty Cobb did not come to Peterborough.
Oh.
I'll get to that. I'll keep this tight. But and another guy named Roger Peckinpah, who played for Washington. He committed a very famous error in the 1924 World Series, but he was a very good player. He was a shortstop. He had a cabin up on Crow Lake near Marmora. Oh. And there's a connection there that seems to be that a bunch of people from Cleveland, he was playing in Cleveland at the time, made a habit of coming up there in the summer and hunting and fishing and everything. Anyway, Peckinpah's got the cabin. Speaker's putting together this team. Peckinpah says we should go through Peterborough. And it was basically like, let's raise some money. At the time, it was sort of the precursor to the Legion, the Great War Veterans Association, I think it was called. They were raising money to build a new building in Marmora. Speaker said, well, we'll take half the gate and give the other half to them.
Oh.
So they played a game in Scarborough, and then they played a game the next, a couple days later at Peterborough at the Riverside Park, which is
Only
still a
boroughs.
ballpark. That's right. Riverside Park is still a ball diamond in Peterborough. Unfortunately, Cobb played the Scarborough game and then hopped on a train to go up to Temagami to do some fishing or something. So he didn't actually come to Peterborough. But Speaker did, and Speaker's one of those kind of forgotten Hall of Famers at this
Yeah.
point. He still holds the record for career doubles, and he was said to be one of the greatest center fielders of all time.
3,500 hits.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's like fourth all time, third?
Yeah, it's crazy. And
Yeah.
and his defense, he was said to be able to play within conversational distance from the second baseman, and anything hit over his head, he could track it down. He was
Wow.
that fast, sort of thing. So, yeah.
And he played here. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
It's funny, I think that about that in Canada. Sometimes, like if that happened in America, there'd be a plaque. Everyone would know about it.
There would. And
in Canada, we tend to not know.
And in fact,
those
there is a
things.
plaque at that
There is.
diamond, but it's for hockey players.
Oh, okay.
That played,
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
that played softball.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Speaker has an arena named after him, though. That's right. It makes no sense.
That's right.
I love this jersey you're wearing. Can you tell us a bit about this jersey?
I'm shocked this wasn't a New Zealand lawn question, to be frank. Yeah, I wore. I have like a lot of sad middle-aged men who love baseball. I have a big collection of jerseys, and I need an excuse to wear them. So when I put out a book in 2021, a book about Ichiro Suzuki, I had all these jerseys, and I said to my wife, when we do the tour, I'll wear these jerseys. It'll be so fitting and everything. And then of course, 2021 was 2021. So everything I did was virtual, right? So, so it wasn't the same. Like, I went on eBay and I bought this sweet Seattle Mariners starter jacket for the Ichiro Italian and stuff. And now these things are just hanging in my office as sort of a sad testament to what wasn't, So anyway, so I think, well, I wrote another baseball book. I'm doing an event here tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the jersey on. But it's a Roberto Clemente jersey. This is the team he would play for each winter in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Amazing.
So,
Right, that's
yeah.
great.
It'd be really. I was thinking that earlier, but it'd be really weird if someone booed Roberto Clemente.
Oh, God.
Like in the audience, if someone just decided to boo Roberto Clemente. Do not do it, Brian.
No.
So I wanted
Bad
to
karma.
before we get into our quick hits. A couple of things I want to do. So we have a couple books out there that I've read, the two essay books,
Yep.
and then you have McCurdle's Arm. Now this is officially out, but not officially out, right?
It's available. You can get it. The street date thing for books, it doesn't turn out to be as strict as I used to work in music stores, and if you put something out before street date, they would send a hit squad after you. But for Canadian independent literary publishers, it's not really a big deal. So this is officially out July 6th, All-Star Tuesday, July 16th. It's the official publication date. But if you were to order it right now or come
Just
say
get it
hello
right
in
there.
the lobby,
You can get an autograph right there.
it's available. Yeah,
Only
So,
$20.
$20.
Support a local author. Why not? Right?
You're losing money not getting it, folks.
But what's it what's it about in a nutshell? What's the if people are like, yeah, I
It's
might
about a
wanna
guy
get
who
that.
asks too many questions.
Okay.
I'm kidding. What is it about? Yeah.
And I'm going to hook you from the first here. It's about semi-professional factory town baseball in the 1890s in Ontario.
Love it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
You
I
just
don't know.
sold one to Matt for sure.
Yeah. I wanted to write that. This was something I was doing between other projects, and I wanted to kind of write something as gritty and bloody and sweaty and angry as it's like if they played baseball on the HBO series Deadwood, if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
It's coarse.
Yeah.
And fun.
Great.
This audience loves course.
Yeah, I can feel it. I feel that.
This guy right here with that
feel
guy.
that. Bob.
Course. You with the suspenders right there. I know you like course. You like course for sure. Well, this is an opportunity to buy that out there, and just to make sure Matt knows it's okay for you to sell this book before the street date, because Matt, you're a little bit paranoid about things like this.
yeah,
It's going to be legal to sell this
it
book.
is
This
legal.
comes
Okay.
with the blessing
That's
of
right.
the people way up top.
Yeah, that's
Excellent.
right. And for this guy who likes a course, he wants it to be an illegal sale, right? And that's exciting for him. Here we have also the pre-order. This is going to be a thing you can scan. This is the Diopause. This is a novel that you have coming out.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, that is a pandemic novel.
Okay.
The story began its life as something kind of this length, a story about a young boy, 10-year-old boy who, summer of 2020, he and his parents hole up in a shack. It's kind of up near Maynooth, northern Ontario. Not northern Ontario, north of here. And then that felt kind of done, but not completely done. And I have a very great editor, Brian Abias, who read it, and he said, this is great, but it's not done. And so he kind of pushed me. So now the novel begins there, and it spins off into the next 40 years of his life. So it's actually become a kind of a speculative fiction, sci-fi thing, which I never expected to write, but that's what it is. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. So that's available to scan and then get that copy, and it comes out in October, right?
Yeah, October 1st. Again, it'll be ready before then. But my understanding is if you scan that QR code, it'll drop it straight into your basket and ship it to you for free. So
Amazing. All right. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Andrew, you've been. It's so great you're here. You brought these books. The opportunity to purchase these today is so fantastic. Your parents, your dad is here.
My father and his lovely friend Lorraine are
yes.
right over here in the front row. Yep.
Yes. And they surprised you, right?
They surprised me. I had lunch
so
with my
sweet.
father today.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like, oh, you should come to this thing that I'm going to do. But I mentioned it to him, and then I walked in, and who's sitting down to dinner? But
Lo and behold.
Dad and
So
Lorraine.
sweet.
Yep.
So sweet.
Yep.
Thank you for coming to the show. You're fantastic for doing that. What a
Yes,
great
thank
surprise. Yeah. So we want to, we're heading towards the end of the first half, and we want to bring some energy with some quick hits. Andrew, will you join us with what we call quick hits? Will you join us for that section of the show?
I wouldn't miss it.
These are
I would
additional
not miss
things
it.
that happened on July 30th. We just do them quicker.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that
exactly.
how it goes?
Matt, you've just spoiled
Ideally.
the surprise.
Okay.
Yes, exactly right. All right.
Who is starting this round of quick hits?
I don't know. Mike, do you want to start?
Sure. Quick hits!
Okay.
In 1917, during a 16-4 win over the Nationals in Washington, the Detroit Tigers 3, 4, and 5 hitters Ty Cobb, Ossie Vitt, and Bobby Veach each had 5 hits. 14 of their 15 hits were singles, with the only extra base hit coming when Cobb hit a triple.
Boom.
Quick hit! In 1995 was a big day for Philly baseball fans as 2 all-time greats were included into the Hall of Fame together. Center fielder Richie Ashburn, who played 12 seasons in Philly between 1948 and 1959. He was voted in by the Veterans Committee. And third baseman Mike Schmidt was elected in his first year of eligibility with a 96.5% of the vote. Quick hit!
Quick hits! At historic, you don't have to do that, but you should.
Okay.
At historic Golden Park in Columbus, Georgia, the U.S. defeated China 3-1 in the gold medal in women's softball at the Atlantic Olympics. It was the first time women's softball was an official Olympic event, and the Americans won it all on a controversial 2-run home run in the third inning by Dot Richardson that may or may not have gone around the foul pole in right field. Clearly, they didn't have instant replay.
They did not.
Whoa. What do you got?
Quick hit, 1969, leading the Mets by a score of 5-3 heading into the ninth inning. The Astros exploded for 11 runs in the ninth, including 2 grand slams by Jim Wynn and Dennis Menke to make it a 16-3 laugher in the first half of a doubleheader at Shea Stadium in New York. Houston won the second half of the doubleheader, but only scored 11 runs that game, making it a 27-8 day in Queens. It was the only time in the 20th century that 2 grand slams were hit in the ninth inning of a National League game.
Wow. There we go.
2017, in the fourth inning of a game versus the Orioles in Baltimore, Rangers third baseman Adrian Beltre hit a double to left for the 3,000th base hit of his career. It made him the 31st player in MLB history to reach the milestone and the first native of the Dominican Republic to reach 3,000. He finished his career at the end of the next season with 3,166 hits and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2023 in his first year on the ballot. But don't touch his head.
Don't touch his head.
Okay. Quick hits!
Quick hit. In 2020, Rudy Gobert hit 2 free throws with less than 7 seconds remaining to cap a 14-point, 12-rebound game and give Utah a 106-104 win over New Orleans in the first game of the NBA regular season restart at the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida. Remember when that happened?
The COVID season.
Oh, yes. Andrew, you're going to have one more of these. I'm going to show you how this is done, okay? Quick hits!
Oh, my God.
2011, Baltimore DH Vladimir Guerrero, Sr., had 4 hits, including a home run during a 17-3 loss to the Yankees in New York. That season, the last one of his 16-year MLB career, he finished with a .290 batting average, the lowest of any year he played in the majors. The only player to have a better worst batting average season was fellow Hall of Famer Sam Rice, who batted .293 in 1934.
Quick hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like the Quiet Storm. The Quiet Storm. It's kind of very little too sexy for our show there, Andrew, please.
Bring it down.
Too blue.
I won't
too
apologize.
Blue. Yeah.
I won't apologize. July the 30th, 1973, at Oakland Alameda County Stadium, Texas pitcher Jim Bibby threw a no-hitter versus the A's, who would go on to win the World Series that year. Bibby struck out 13 Athletics and also walked 6, and it was the first no-hitter in Texas Rangers history.
There it is. Quick hits.
Do we know who threw the other no-hitters in Texas Ranger history? There are 5 in total.
5 in
Kenny
total.
Rogers?
Kenny Rogers, yep, with
Right.
a perfect game as well. So that's 2 of them with Bibby and Kenny
Nolan
Rogers.
Ryan.
Nolan Ryan threw 2. So you're missing one other guy who did it in 77.
Got to be Rick Helling. I'm kidding. It's not good.
And his initials are BB.
BB.
Bert is his first name.
Bert Blyleven.
There you go.
Blyleven, of course, the Dutchman. All right, excellent.
Blyleven.
Thanks so much for that, Matt. Appreciate that extra.
always there for you, buddy.
Big hand for Andrew Forbes.
Andrew Forbes,
Andrew Forbes joining us on the show.
Andrew
Thank
Forbes,
you,
very
Andrew.
much.
You can choose to go through that door or around it, but
I'm gonna go around that
yeah, it's a little scary that way. Andrew Forbes, everybody. Thank you,
everybody.
Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew.
All right. Well, I believe that we are going to go to another video so someone can win a prize as we head towards our draft and intermission. Here we
Yes,
go.
sir.
98, 99, 100. Whew. Hey there, Matthew Schneider coming to you from sunny California. I'm happy to join the This Day in Sports crew for a little bit of NHL trivia. Today's question is, who is the last defenseman since Bobby Orr to win the Hart Trophy as the NHL's most valuable player? Was it A, Nick Lidstrom, B, Chris Pronger, or C, Paul Coffey? Hint, it wasn't me. But I did play with him for a season.
Okay.
Do we think it's A? B?
Any B's?
Any B's?
Any C's? Okay.
Wait. Does anybody want to rethink their B pick?
Anybody want to invest?
She picked B. Okay, go on the record.
Double B, and we got.
Let's find out.
Sandy wants me to give you my best pause face.
This is his pause face. Okay, this is
That's
not
his-
an actor.
That's it, Sandy.
Dramatic
That's all I
pause,
got.
yeah.
The answer is B.
She gets points for enthusiasm. I want to,
Absolutely.
literally no one thought that was the answer. So
I know you had to go for it.
That's
Okay.
right. That's
so,
right.
Mike, as we head towards the second half, the intermission is going down now. We have a very special thing coming up.
we
right?
do a draft every episode that's sort of like a fantasy draft, but it's sort of more specific topics than just a baseball pool or whatever. Sometimes, like, we've done drafts where it's like, who had the best mustache in hockey in the 70s, or who had the best hair, or who had the worst uniforms, stuff like that. It's all dependent upon who our guest is. And as as you may or may not know, we have some local hockey royalty here with us tonight as our guest in the second half. So what we've done is we have decided to do a draft of the best players, best hockey players to come from the area. Now, to be clear, we are not going to choose our guests just so it doesn't seem we're kissing up to them or whatever. We're going to leave them off, but they will then come on and decide which of us picked the best team of local, legendary local hockey players. So who goes first in this draft this time?
That is you.
It's me.
Michael.
Okay,
and we're picking a starting lineup.
A starting
right?
lineup, that's right. Two defensemen, two wingers, and a center, and a goalie. Is that right?
Yep, a goalie. Are we doing a coach?
No.
Okay.
All right, there it is. So we're gonna go through this pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But my first pick is gonna be, we just lost him this year, the great Ron Ellis, great legendary Leafs player. He's my right winger, all-time great.
Born in Lindsay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, Sandy, you're next. Or
Nope,
is
you,
it-
Matt.
Oh, me. All right, I'm going to go with, I'm going to take, born in Peterborough, I'm going to take Bobcaygeon as my left winger.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Hall of Famer.
Good choice. Good choice. I'm going to take someone who this weekend on Father's Day, it's going to be his birthday, Steve Larmer.
Yeah.
Steve Larmer.
Oh, there you go.
He's the only one in this area where he's 1,012 points in his career.
Wow.
Underrated Steve Larmer. I'm going with Steve Larmer as my right wing. That's right.
My next pick is sidebar, Sandy's favorite NHL player.
Oh, no.
And he's also in the Stanley Cup Finals right now, so I'm hoping this is going to send him some good vibes. I'll take I already have a right winger. I can't take him. Never mind. I will
Such
take
a good setup.
It would have been okay. He'd have figured it out. No, I'll take left winger Corey Stillman.
All
He's
right.
also from the area.
Who will also be on the show tomorrow night.
That's right. He's here
If you want to
tomorrow.
see
Okay.
Corey Stillman in
Okay.
here, he'll be here as our second half guest tomorrow.
That's right.
All right, I am going to grab a center. No, I'm gonna grab the first defenseman
That's all the time we have.
from Peterborough. I'm going to take Doug Crossman.
Doug
All right,
Crossman.
yeah,
Nice.
legendary.
All right. That's okay. Doug Crossman. Good choice. It's tough to say because it's getting a little tight already in centers, but you know what? I'm going to go with Rick McLeish.
Yeah.
Rick McLeish as my center. Yeah, we got some Rick McLeish fans out there. Absolutely.
do.
Yes.
Born in Lindsay.
Yeah, that's right. Here we go.
That's right. I will then take I will take defenseman Steve Chason.
All right.
Yeah, that's going to be my first defenseman.
The crowd went wild.
No response at all.
Is Chason from the area? All right. Okay. It's me now. Okay, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to take a, gosh, this is tough. So you know what I do in tough times? I take Hall of Famer Joe Primo as my center. Joe Primo,
Yeah,
who was born in Lindsay. I got 2 Hall of Famers now.
Very good.
Okay. Well, hopefully that stands up for you.
Okay.
All right. What am I looking for? I have a right wing. I've got a center. I'm going to put a left wing on there. Should I? Yeah. No. Have I got anybody ready? Have I got somebody ready?
No,
I
you don't have a left
All right.
winger.
Well, I'm going to take Don Maloney. Got to put Don Maloney out there. That's right. The crowd is going crazy out there. They can't stop cheering for the
We
locals.
just gave you a prize. Come on, have some enthusiasm. Okay, for my other defenseman, no, I'm going to take a center. I'm going to take Mike Fisher. Centerman.
Yeah.
There's somebody you liked.
Oh, see, that's
Okay.
There you go.
There
Good
you
choice.
go. All right, well, I'm going to try and get some applause here because I'm taking somebody who was born in Bobcaygeon. I'm taking defenseman Brady Austin. Hey? Okay,
whoa.
there we go.
That's how you work the local crowd, Matt. Excellent work. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Since we're going, trying to get some like current applause. How about Vince Dunn?
Nope.
Nope, didn't work. Oh, it did. Almost worked, everybody.
Silence.
I tried a different strategy.
I'm going to take the first goalie. I'm going to take goalie Greg Millen.
All right.
Yeah, see, somebody. Yeah, there you go. You're excited.
Yep. Got a woo.
Oh, okay. A question for the audience. Do we consider Bracebridge the area?
Oh, there's some.
Oh.
And it turned.
Well, Matt passes then.
Then you know what? I'm going to take it for the controversy. Oh, wait. So did anyone say yes? No. Okay. Okay.
And you've started a fight.
All right. All right. I'm going to take a goalie. I'm going to take Zach Bierk. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
From Peterborough. Yeah.
Got some applause. There you go.
All right. How about this goalie? Joe Junkin.
Yeah.
That's right.
Born in
That's
Lindsay.
right.
Played one
I'm gonna
game
say
in the
one
NHL.
thing. I'm going to say one thing.
Yep.
Kawarthas are not a goalie hotbed.
No.
I've noticed.
Goalies was the toughest position for
by
sure.
far.
Yeah.
By far.
Duncan
yeah.
played 69 games in the WHA, just
Yeah.
one in
He
the
did.
NHL.
Hey, that's all.
No
needed.
small feat.
Just
Like,
needed
yeah,
one game.
let's
and
not
that's all he
underplay
needed. I
that
believe he
guy.
made 4 saves and then no goals.
Okay.
There you go. My other defenseman will be then Jason Allison.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
choice. Yeah.
What do I need? I need a right winger. So I will take, this is Sandy's favorite player that Mike was going to take. I will take Corey Perry from Peterborough. How do you feel about those applause, Sandy?
Mixed.
I do remember last night that you said you wanted to be the heel of that draft, and I guess you've continued that decision to continue going that way.
When you see Sandy after the show, ask him why he dislikes Corey Perry so much. It's really funny.
Okay, I need one defenseman. I've already got my goalie. That's interesting. Sorry, did someone draft Doug Crossman?
Yes.
Great choice.
Thank you.
All right, I'll dig deeper. Okay, well, D are a little bit down there too. I'm trying to figure out guys I really want to get. I'm just gonna go next guy on my list, and I think that's gonna be a guy named Bill Spear.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Great reaction from the crowd.
Yeah,
that
from
tells me.
Lindsay.
Thank
That
God we
tells me I'm
delayed
on the
that
right
for a
track.
He was another guy who had more success in the WHA, but
That's all I
still
want.
was in the
This isn't a
NHL.
WHA draft. Have we all got lineups? We must have all lineups.
Yeah,
now.
we
Fantastic.
that was a quick draft.
Wow, the audience is exhausted from that excitement. I don't
We
even
thought
know.
this would be like a thing that would really get the audience
I
into
thought
it.
so too. I thought they'd be like, "What are you talking
No.
about? You don't pick that guy. You pick this guy."
They don't care
But
at
they were
all.
just like, "Can we please get a beer?" Yes.
My local pick is Boreas Alming.
So what's going to have next? Does anyone consider Brantford part of it?
Yeah, that's right.
I might take an unknown guy. So we're going to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to have a special guest. We have Mike and Porter Martone here with us tonight. Give a round of applause for them because they're here. Father-son duo, Father's Day weekend. They're going to come up here in the second half. They're going to judge our 3 lineups of locals, tell us what they think about that, and one of us is going to go home a champ of the 3 of us.
That's right.
And it's going to get super exciting. Get yourself a drink. Come on back. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're a great first half guest.
thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much for being here. Thank you. So thank you so much for coming back. It's fantastic to see you. First and foremost. Who ended up winning the 50-50? Who won it?
Won the 50-50.
Up top
Okay,
there.
congratulations.
Okay. Just being real cool about it. All right, let's see how it goes. Well, we've just given away the 50-50, and I feel kind of bad for the people that didn't get a prize. So we should show another trivia video.
And give away
And then give away another prize.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let's show. We got one last trivia video here.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you're enjoying yourself in beautiful Bobcaygeon.
Hey!
My name is Elvis Stoico, 3-time world figure skating champion, 2-time Olympic silver medalist, and I have an Olympic trivia question for you. The very first Winter Olympics was held 100 years ago in 1924 in Chamonix, France. Over those 100 years of Winter Olympics, which country has won the most medals? Is it A, the USA, B, Norway, or C, the USSR?
Okay, so
Yep.
anybody any A's out there? Anybody want to throw an A? Okay, yeah, you might as well invest,
Like,
right?
it's like bidding $1 and the price is right.
So
Yeah,
who's
that's
got the A? Okay, there we go.
There you go. There you go.
How about B?
Hey, okay.
A lot of B's.
A lot of
okay.
B's, so choose
All right.
one of those.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
I got
choose-
one.
And now C. Okay, well, I see a lot of C's. I see this
Okay.
guy. I see some over here. I see
what,
this guy.
Let's see what Elvis has to say. This is his thinking face.
And the answer is B, Norway, with a total of 329 medals. So whoever got it right, yay for you. Whoever got it wrong, who cares? It's a beautiful day. I was going to go skating, but you know what? I'm just going to hang out and enjoy the beautiful day. Hopefully you guys are doing the same thing. Have a great one.
All right, thank you to Elvis.
Sandy, when you talk to Elvis,
Yeah.
can you please let him know that when you played the video, he got a great reaction,
Yeah.
including someone saying, what was it? Wow, he looks different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm going to just say the first part.
Okay.
Because it keeps it pretty wide open.
We got to encourage people who are filming to film their videos indoors.
Yeah, a lot of outdoors.
We have a lot
videos.
of outdoor videos of this where people are like in windstorms. His wasn't bad, but
I just want to assure everybody, Elvis has a home. He just decided to do it outside. He made the choice of seeing this house.
Fine for himself.
Inside.
Yeah.
That's right. We want to go to our judges and get judged, but first we're going to just get some quick birthdays.
Oh yeah, we do.
Keep it positive.
Section.
July
Okay.
30th. What birthdays are happening on this day? Matt, I think you've got the first one there.
So July 30th, 1981, two-time gold medal-winning U.S. women's soccer goalie Hope Solo was born in Richland, Washington.
Oh.
people are booing
so
birthdays.
Getting some but a great Star Wars name, no? Hope Solo.
Yeah, thank you. Way to get it back, Matt. Woo, got it back. That was close.
Get ready to boo again. In 1903, longtime Maple Leafs owner Harold Ballard in Toronto, Ontario.
There we go.
Yes.
Happy Boo Days.
The prototype for Mr. Burns. There
It
he
is, exactly. July 30th, 1957, three-time NBA champ for Chicago center Bill Cartwright was born in Lodi, California. Yeah. It'd be weird if somebody just booed Bill Cartwright for no reason.
For no reason. In 1947, bodybuilding legend and actor Arnold Schwarzenegger was born in Thal, Austria. So, guys, please do your next ones in Arnold Schwarzenegger voice.
I love this.
I'm
I mean, we
willing to
will.
try.
But I love this card, though, by the way. Just like goes perfectly with happy birthday. Like it actually is a birthday card. It's
That does
fantastic.
look
Like one of those ones you give in an office.
That's
that has
good. Exactly. And that's good graphics, Mike. That's good graphics right there.
he looks perfect.
Yes. Your Arnold voice?
I have to do the Arnold voice?
Yeah.
In 1934, MLB Commissioner Bud Selig was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He was also a car salesman.
This is good, yeah. So, okay, yeah.
I thought he'd get a boo. I thought he might.
1963, Hall of Famer, two-time Olympic gold medalist, five-time NBA All-Star guard, Chris Mullin in New York City.
I don't think that was not Arnold.
No, that was
Schwarzenegger.
just weak.
I don't know what that was.
Get
That
in the
was just-
chopper. Get in the chopper.
That was just a weird Austrian. Not,
Hey, I got to Austria.
not
at
a
least.
specific,
Okay.
yeah.
He
I
said
feel
weird
like,
Austrian.
I feel like Chris Mullin got shortchanged, but Chris Mullin, there you go.
Chris Mullin,
Yeah.
great player, yes.
1968, Washington linebacker and Brooklyn 999 actor Terry Crews was born
Thank
in
you.
Flint, Michigan.
Big response.
Terry's having a birthday.
Yeah, that's right. 1996, two-time WNBA All-Star guard from the Washington Mystics, Ariel Atkins in Dallas, Texas.
All right.
She looks great in the photo.
Yeah, there's no...
Our Photoshop doesn't affect her.
It's getting better. It's getting better. I got a final birthday here. I'm going to try to do it in a Swedish accent. What do you think? Yeah.
This is-
1973, five-time NHL All-Star left winger, Vancouver, Marcus Naslund in Orkonstad in Sweden.
Actually, that was pretty good.
I'm sorry. Is
Thank
anyone here Swedish?
I bounce
Okay,
back.
just seeing if we
Offended anybody? Oh,
It's the people walking out right now. They're-
the Swedes are gone.
Sweets are
They all filed out of here. Okay.
Those were the birthdays.
Happy
Probably not
birthday,
all of them,
yeah.
but happy birthday.
Yeah,
everybody.
happy birthday.
birthday
July
to
30th.
all
Anyone,
those
anyone
people.
have a birthday today? July 30th.
yeah.
Didn't even ask that question. Anybody have a birthday?
Anybody July 30 birthday?
Anniversary?
Oh, an anniversary.
What number is it? 30th anniversary.
30th.
Congratulations.
You know what?
Can
we
I
got to
offer
have
you a-
something.
a lamp?
You win the piano in the lobby. Congratulations.
There it is. That's right.
It's going to be great.
Oh, 58.
Oh, this ore
Yes.
is up for grabs. That White Sox pennant.
And one of
a
these
camera,
cameras.
A camera. Frank, can we give them a camera? By the way, Frank Russo working hard over there all day with all the technical stuff. He put all the cameras together. the
He's
lights,
handling
everything
all
like that.
this stuff.
Is he with us?
He's with us.
Okay.
Yeah, he is with us.
Hi,
He can
Frank.
take stuff away
Matt.
with us. We have two guys waiting to jump on the show.
Yes.
Father-son duo sweting behind that door
That's
right there,
true.
waiting
Very
for
warm.
our shenanigans
Really
to
hoping
stop.
to win the 50-50.
They
We're checking.
our first, we have two guests today. It's very exciting. We're going to do one at a time so they can each get their walk-up song. First of all, from the Sioux, outdoor rink ice master, Peterborough Pete alumni, guidance counselor at St. Pete's currently, Mike Martone is here. Mike, coming through the door.
Be very
All
careful,
right.
Don't hurt yourself.
Mike, thank you for joining. Mike, you can take this seat right there. And, of course, it's Father's Day weekend, Mike, so we wanted to bring your son here. This is Porter Martone. He was captain, of course, of the under-18 U18 Team Canada team that just won gold versus the U.S. Hello, yes. Former Mississauga Steelhead, now Brampton Steelheads player right now, and future grad of St. Pete's. That's the school you teach at right now. Here he is, Porter Martone is here. Porter! You made it. All right.
The door is a test.
Yes, excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. We thought it was such a great idea for Father's Day weekend to have a father-son duo here today. Porter, you ever appeared on a show at all with your dad?
I think this is the first time.
This is the first time. Hey, it's the
Yeah.
first time here. Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. All right. Well, this is we're breaking new ground here for the Martones.
That's right.
We have a few questions we wanted to ask you before we get started, and then we're going to get into these the judgment of our draft. I'm sure there was a lot of players from a long time ago, Porter, you were furiously Googling at the intermission. That's totally fine. Totally fine. It's okay. Yeah. You got to figure out who some of those folks were. Mike, you had a question?
Who's this Corey Perry?
Yeah.
Okay, my question is for you. Who would you say was the best player you played with?
That's a good question. I'd say Jamie Langenberner.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
great.
played with
Yes.
him for 1 year. My good buddy Steve Webb, he wouldn't be happy about that. He'd want me to say him, but he had a really good career as well.
He sure did.
But definitely Jamie Langenberner. I think.
Right on. Yeah, I
Excellent
figured
answer.
that might be the answer, but I wanted to confirm.
Nice. Matt.
I got a question for Porter. Porter, who would be your dream line mates? If you're currently playing in the NHL, if you could play on a line with two other guys currently playing,
Any
they
team.
don't have to be on the same team or anything. Who would the two you would most like to be your line mates?
Yeah, I feel like definitely my center would want to be Connor McDavid. It's kind
there
of
you
see
go.
him play.
Yeah.
Pretty good
His
pick,
speed and smarts is pretty cool. And then on the left wing, I like to say Matthew Tkachuk. I like to kind of model my game after him. He's a hard 200-foot player. So, yeah, those two would be a pretty good line.
Great answer.
Pretty
yeah,
good
we
picks,
watched
yeah.
his dad, Keith, in
We
Winnipeg.
We were in Winnipeg, so Keith Tkachuk.
watched
The
Keith
Tkachuk
play.
family, for sure. That's an interesting line. So if you...
What about the D?
Yeah, okay. So,
What about that?
Yeah,
okay, wait.
We're going to ask you a question. We have a follow-up question. Matt has a follow-up question.
Follow up for
Yeah.
Mike. So, who would be your dream D partner in the NHL from your era?
Okay.
Anybody?
Chris Pronger for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
good
okay.
choice.
Already in the show, Chris Pronger, who
Yeah.
you got the Hart Trophy, and that's right. You already mentioned.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Chris Pronger. Good choice, of course. Can't really argue with that. I wanted to. I know that I wanted to get into one thing here, which is tonight we give a sort of a stipend. We give an honorarium. You wanted to donate to a charity, the Hope Charity, right? Can you tell us a little bit about the Hope Charity?
Yeah. So there's a bunch of us started a charity here in Peterborough, and it's called Hope, Helping Others Participate Equally. Myself, Chad Kavanaugh, Ryan Reddy, Matt Bowen. I know I'm missing some guys, but a bunch of guys that played hockey, not necessarily from here, but moved back here, and it started off just trying to fund kids' registration fee, or if kids can't afford the equipment, we'd go out and buy some, and we're taking used equipment, and then Steve Monador, he came on and came on board, and he donated money from the Stanley Cup run he had, and then we started to get into concussion awareness and stuff like that. So it's still going on. We still have the charity, and it's nice getting together, and it's for a good cause.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Okay, we'll give him a round of applause because that's where.
That's like what the great things that sports can do. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I got to say, so some of the people that we've asked to be on the show, we had known before. We had some connections and said, "Hey, that'd be great if they came on the show." You didn't. We knew. I knew you through Steve Webb. We were introduced through Steve Webb, but we didn't know each other. And certainly Porter got pulled into this because of you. And I just think that's great that you took the leap of faith to say, "Hey, I'm just going to do that show. I'm just going to jump out there and do that." So thank you so much for doing that, because you're our first judges on our first live podcast in front of this crowd. So that's so fantastic. Taking that leap of faith. We really appreciate that. So regardless if you pick my team or not, I still like you. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But we're going to just talk about each of these teams. So we're going to go up on the board. We'll just throw them out there as reminders. Again, if you don't know who these guys are, it's okay. Or if there's someone you really want to jump on and talk about, that's fantastic too. So we've got Team Mike there. It was Corey Stillman, Mike Fisher, Ron Ellis, Steve Chasen, Jason Allison, and Greg Millen. Now, any thoughts on that team when you look at that team? Anything you want to comment on? As you know, Porter, you got something?
Yeah, I know the three forwards, Corey Stillman and Mike Fisher. Mike Fisher a bit younger, so I got to watch him a little bit, and Ron Ellis. But Steve Chase on two, but the goalie and the DA, I haven't heard. I don't really know much of. Maybe it's been a bit before my time. But
Totally fair.
I like the build of that team.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good up front, those are unknown. We were saying, so Greg Millen was a gray area because we had discovered he was born in Toronto.
Yeah. So it could be, there could be a, he played here, but it was my mistake. He was not born or raised here. So maybe I get disqualified or some points deducted
Just
for that.
points, Mike. You don't have to take yourself out of this. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself.
I'm going to go home now.
No, don't be upset.
Thank you.
People are already reeling from my awesome PowerPoint work. They don't.
Somehow these words look fat too. I don't understand how that happened.
All right. So, Mike, any comments on that team?
Yeah, Corey Stillman, great pick. Chase Stillman, his son, actually lived with us when he played for the Petes here, so we billeted him. So definitely have to give a shout out to him, and he's coaching in the OHL next year for Guelph.
Yeah, that's right.
And a heck of a career.
And he'll be on the show tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be here tomorrow night in your seats, judging.
Yeah.
That's right. He's judging us.
Mike Fisher, another two-way player, plays all three zones. Yep. I was actually helped train him when he was younger, so at the gym. So I'd work with him, hard worker. Wow. So an excellent pick there. So those top two picks. And Steve Chason, great guy. He was right into Peterborough charity as well and always gave back to the community. So I like those three for sure. So it's a good start.
Okay, good. Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
Mike,
good job. Mike, you're hot start for sure.
But also the
one disqualification.
The big mistake.
That is a stain on your legacy, but otherwise great.
Yeah.
Team Matt, we have Bob Gainey, Joe Primo, Corey Perry, Doug Crossman, Brady Austin, and Zach Burke. Now, Zach Burke, of course, was an amazing NHL player.
No, we did learn, though, that his brother is Sebastian Bach from the band Skid Row.
Thank you.
So if you like anthems sung before, so my team was created thinking we also want to have like a rousing anthem sung before the game.
Oh, good choice.
So if you want to give points to that, you can, and you probably should.
Might I remind you, though, that Mike Fisher's wife is country music superstar Carrie Underwood.
Oh,
I'm sure she could sing a pretty
Sandy,
good song,
do you have a singer related to your team?
Well, Joe Junkin, of course, was married to Cher for a brief amount of time.
Wait a minute.
It was after she left Greg Allman. She left him for Joe Junkin.
Okay.
She saw him play that one NHL game and said, 4 saves, you're for me.
I don't want to lobby you guys too hard, but I do have two Hall of Famers and the only player born in Bobcaygeon on any of these lists.
Whoa, who's that?
Brady Austin.
Okay, that's why he got such a great response.
Kiss ass.
He played 5 games with Buffalo.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, was he married to Cher? Also,
for those 5 days.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's get some quick comments on this. There's some great players, obviously, in this lineup. What do you think, the reporter?
Yeah, I do like to build this team too. Bob Gainey definitely had an amazing career. Also went to my elementary school.
Yep.
I remember having his jersey off in the gym, so that's definitely a plus. And I like Corey Perry too. I like the way he plays. So yeah.
Slow boo. You hear the audience? It was like a leaking boo. Someone was like, like they didn't want it to come out.
But yeah, and Zach Burke played with my dad, so I remember my dad showing me videos of him and goalie when they went on a little run there. So he's a pretty good goalie too. So yeah, that's a very good team as well.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
So I had a question. Sorry, can I ask a question real quick? Yeah. So Zach Burke, was he your goalie of the year in '96? Was that who's your goalie then?
Yeah, no, Zach Burke was our goalie then.
Yeah,
and he was a huge reason why we did so well that year in '96.
Wow. We have to keep punching these mics, but we have to just highlight because that's an important point we didn't make. So you scored the winning goal, Game 7. Peterborough Petes win the OHL championship in 1996 because of your goal. A defenseman gets that Game 7 goal. And that's incredible. And
it is.
Can I just take a pause? Can I take a pause, from the draft to ask this question? Because, you've asked it a zillion times, and it's the thing that you hear about or people bring on shows, talk about this kind of thing. What did you think your chances were of scoring that goal? It's the third period. Does it go to overtime? I can't remember if it was overtime or third period.
It was overtime.
It was overtime, yeah. And so it's going to overtime. At what point did you think I might score the winning goal? Any point in that game? Or was it
Never.
Never. But it didn't go in and off your head or anything.
No. Yeah. I actually jumped off the bench, and I remember taking off because I think their D they were changing or something, and I took off, and I'm a defenseman, so I should have been going back the other way.
Yeah. But
someone had it on my team. I think it was Jason McMillan. And I remember the coach yelling at me to get back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Get back. All of a sudden, the puck was on my stick, and it was a breakaway, and
Wow.
put it in.
That is incredible because you see the highlight. You can see it on YouTube. We've seen the highlights there. And if you don't know anything about like where you played, you just, on a breakaway, a defenseman, you just assume this can't be a defenseman. It's the most shocking thing afterwards. And going, no, really,
To me too.
for you too, for sure, right? Like, so unlikely.
Going through your head, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask. Is like, how much went through your head? Like, this could be it, or you're just like, I don't know. What are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I didn't think at all. I just
That's why it worked, right? That's why it went.
yeah,
well,
that's right. Yeah.
That's very true. Don't overthink it. Just fire off that shot.
Just play, yeah.
So now we're going to get to Team 3. Okay, so this is Team Sandy. This is Steve Larmer, Rick McLeish, Don Maloney, Vince Dunn, Bill Spear, and Joe Junkin, Cher's husband, Joe Junkin, of course. We thought about this because we had Cutter Gauthier's, Sean Gauthier's dad came on the show, and he played like one NHL game. So he was on the show talking about like what that experience is like to play once. And like he didn't even let in a goal, and he was like, that was it for me in the NHL. Yep. Kind of like Joe Junkin. He had like 4 saves, and then that was it. So he didn't do anything wrong.
But he never lost. He's undefeated in the NHL.
Yeah, Sean Gauthier made that very clear. He's never lost again. That's right. Exactly right. So we thought back to that with Joe Junkin. So this team, what do you think of this? Want to go first, Pro Reporter?
Yeah. The only two I really know is Steve Larmer and Vince Dunn. I never got to watch Steve Larmer, but I know it's J.R. Avon is related to him, and was a key part when the Pete's won, and definitely is playing a crucial role in the Philadelphia Flyers kind of rebuild there. And Vince Dunn as well. I remember me and my dad make a backyard rink behind our house, and I remember Vince Dunn was in minor midget, and he came out and skated back there, and I was probably around 6 years old. So it's cool seeing him play in the NHL now. But yeah, I know Steve Larmer's a Hall of Famer, and this is a pretty good team as well.
He's we were saying in this Sunday, it's his birthday. So he was like, because he was close to coming down here. He was like, he's like, I said, yeah, he said it's the 16th or whatever. He said, oh, it's my birthday. And I said, we'll have a big birthday show for you. And he goes, oh, it's Father's Day. I'm not coming. A double whammy. I was like, but the show's going to be about you, Steve. But he's a fantastic Peterborough person too, right? Personality around there. So you've had a chance, obviously, to meet Steve Larmer at all?
Yeah, I have. I've seen him around the rink since I was probably 6 years old and growing up, and he's always there giving me and some of my buddies tips because he listens to them because he's had such a phenomenal career in the NHL.
Yeah.
And so do you say like, hey, do you have some tips for me, or he just yells them at you?
Not really yells, but maybe I'll be walking out of the rink and he'll see me and maybe just watch a game and just give some pointers. So it's always good to get that feedback.
Oh yeah,
of course, nice. And what do you think there, Mike?
Yeah, no, Steve Larmer was a coach mentor too, so he would help the coaches out and not just the kids. He's got a laid back personality and he's has good advice. He's wise.
It's wise. There he goes.
Very wise.
Got the wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Yeah.
And Vince Dunn. I love the way he plays too. I've watched him ever since he was a little guy growing up. I think he's from Lindsay. But he played at Central and he came over to Peterborough and played. So,
but he's not from Bracebridge.
No.
Very important.
It's a big no.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Just checking.
And then Rick McLeish. I mean, he's a bit of a Lindsay. He's a Lindsay guy.
Yeah, 759 points in the NHL.
Yeah,
he had a 100-point season.
Yeah,
he did. I think it was like one of his first years, was it not?
It was the 72-73 season.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, that's a good choice too. It's my own choice. That's a good choice too. Wasn't that a good choice? Yeah, of course, with the Flyers. But he was part of those great teams of the 70s, the Flyers, for sure.
Yeah.
I
think that's it for
okay.
that. Whose team is that again?
That's my team.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
But before you pick a winner, while you're thinking of it, let's ask you this without putting you on the spot. Is there anyone that comes to mind that we blew it on, we left out?
We should have picked.
Is there anyone like, I can't believe they didn't pick from this area? And why, audience, you as well, are you like, oh my gosh, we're from around here and I can't believe they didn't pick local legend? Oh, is he from here?
How did we all miss that?
Bobcaygeon.
Oh, that's shame on us.
That would have been a first-round pick. I didn't know he was born in Bob. Are you looking him up? Are you fact-checking this
guy could be lying.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that Bernie Nichols?
What about Mario Lemieux? He's from Bobcaygeon. All right. Well, sure. Yeah, this might be true.
Born in Haliburton, Ontario, it says. Yep.
Well, okay. Controversy.
Okay, wow.
Correct. And embarrassment.
That's close. saying he was born here and lived there.
I'm not going to fight that guy.
Yeah, no, but that's a great pick for sure.
I think Red Sullivan too.
Red Sullivan, Red Sullivan for sure.
Any others? You okay?
Yeah. Roger Nielsen.
we
Born in
had
Toronto, but he
coaches.
passed away.
You did ask. You did ask if
he
you should have coaches. That would have been a good one in the coaches category for sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's getting tense in this room.
Yes.
Okay. It's getting very tense.
And they're going to come after us.
Minutes to wrapping up. It's coming down to this. Porter and Mike, do you want to put your heads together, or do you already have a decision? Which of these three teams do you think is the best lineup from the Kawarthas?
Can we eliminate Team 3?
Yeah.
I think Team 3's eliminated. It's between 1 and 2, maybe.
Team 3's out.
Okay.
Team Matt.
It's so personal now.
It's the jersey, Sandy.
Yeah, thank you.
I think I might have to go with Team Matt.
I was going with Team Matt too.
All right, Team Matt. All right. Team Matt takes the win. Get yourself a prize, Matt. There it is. There's the trophy for Team Matt. Excellent work. Wow. Okay. Congratulations. Well, this has been great, and we really appreciate both of you being on the show. I hope you had a good the game down. You had a whole crew with you. You had dinner down here, and by the way, they put on a great dinner here. If you didn't get a chance, give them a round of applause out there. And really supporting the community. We appreciate that. And you're obviously you have done that for a long time. You're passing it on to your kid, and we really appreciate that this Father's Day weekend. Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having us. And I just want to clarify, Kevin Lowe, top 10 for sure.
Okay.
Back in the top 10.
He was on his way down here to clarify.
It's on the record, yeah.
We appreciate that. Well, we have to say thank you. This has been a great night, great crowd. We have to thank Globus Theater because they took a big leap of faith to have a show like this on their schedule, and it's been such a blast. There's such fantastic hosts for actors, and obviously put on a great night for everybody coming down here to the Lakeview Arts Barn. So let's give them a round of applause here in Globus. Yeah. If you had a great time, of course, we got 2 more shows. We've got a show tomorrow night with Corey Stillman, and then we have a matinee for Father's Day at 2 o'clock on Sunday. Should we come on down here?
Actor Reed Diamond.
Reed Diamond. Now, if you may not know Reed Diamond as you think, but look him up, you're going to be like, oh, he's on everything. Absolutely.
Including Moneyball.
Yes, that's right. That's right, including Moneyball. That's right. So come on down the next 2 nights. Of course, we had Andrew Forbes here, the lovely Andrew Forbes. Thank you so much for being here. Yes. Fantastic author. He'll be outside there. Grab an Andrew Forbes book. Don't just grab it and leave. You actually pay. You do have to pay.
Please pay for it.
Use a credit card. Use cash. You can get Andrew out there as well. And, of course, kicking off the show, the Word Burglar was here. Yes. Word Burglar, thank you so much for being here. He's got some stuff out there as well for sale, some albums, some swag, all that kind of stuff. So much going on. And, of course, you want some cabin stuff. That's also for sale, not for steal, out there on the table if you like. I'm Sandy Jobin Bevins.
I'm Matt Kippen.
And I'm Mike Shera.
That's Frank is over there. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time on This Day in Sports. Thanks, everybody.